I'm late. I apologise. What is going on, everybody? My name is Kieran Hannon, and today I am reviewing the week-old Travis Scott album, Astroworld. Astroworld is the third studio album by American rapper Travis Scott, and this album was so highly anticipated and so unavoidable. Holy shit, let me tell you something. I was really looking forward to checking out this album, and for a bunch of reasons, work and stuff, I wasn't able to actually check it out in time, which is partly why this review is so late. But there is other things, and I'll get into those as the review goes on. But when I went into listening to this album, it was getting rave reviews, it was getting so much hype. I was really excited to listen to it because you know I wasn't going to listen to the Denzel Curry album until it got a bunch of hype, and that delivered in spades. So I was hoping I was getting gonna get something similar on this album. But the main reason why my review was late is because I kept listening to this album and I kept thinking, I don't see it. So I just gave it a listen. Just keep listening to Astroworld. I thought maybe, just let it sit for a few days, let it resonate with me. I'm here almost a week later, and I think I have pretty much found my final thoughts on the album, and I don't think it's going to deviate much more from this. I do think it's gotten better with my subsequent listens, but will I call it the fantastic album everyone else is calling it? Well, let's go track by track and find out. The opening track, Stargazing, I think will probably feel very familiar to a lot of Travis Scott fans. The track starts with this auto-tuned falsetto where Travis is singing about this psychedelic trip he took. I found the auto tune at the start of this song, my first couple of listens, really grating, and I thought it was a really bad way to start the album. It has grown on me in subsequent listens, and I do actually think it is one of my more preferred tracks on the album now. So I think that I could say that the first half of this track is positive. But I say the first half because it has a massive switch right in the middle where we get this more heavy trap banging beat instead of the spacey airy auto tune we had at the start. The auto tune is gone from the song. Travis is singing in a much more natural flow, and I feel like this is where Travis really starts to show his influences, those primarily being Kid Cudi and Kanye West. I don't say this as a knock to Travis, of course, because I feel like he does a good job at taking what Cudi and Kanye do and what they have done in the past and going in his own direction with it. This isn't Kid Seacoast's 2, for better or for worse. It certainly is not that, but I don't think he drowns in his influences like it would have been very possible to do, and he has done apparently on some previous cuts. The ending of this song transitions then beautifully into the second track, Carousel, featuring Frank Ocean. I actually think that the transition from the first to second song on this album is much smoother than the first to second half of the opening track, Stargazing, and that is most likely the point, but I just thought it was something I'd point out. I really enjoy Frank Ocean's feature on this song, but unfortunately, I don't think Frank Ocean is going to be the last time on this album that the feature sounds better and adds more to the track than Travis does himself. That being said, on the third track, Sicko Mode, I actually much prefer Travis's verse to Drake's. Drake starts singing about how he just took half a Xan and it's 13 hours till he lands. Now, I get the point of this song is about how hardworking Drake and Travis are, and Drake is saying, I gotta do all this hard work, I gotta fly for 13 hours, so I'm gonna take half of it, this Xanax that was prescribed to me so I can sleep because, I work so hard. A lot of people have to travel for work, Drake, and a lot of people get paid a lot less than you do to do it, so, most of us travel a lot of hours for work and then work a bunch of hours doing really hard jobs like manual labor and things. I'm not saying what you do isn't hard, but I just don't think that you taking half a Xanax because you got to travel a lot is worth a line in a song. It is kind of interesting though to hear like the biggest name in rap music, hip hop music, to sing about the exact opposite thing you would expect a rapper to sing about, because usually if it's Xanax it's like I'm gonna get turned up, but Drake is like I gotta sleep, I gotta fly for 13 hours, I need my beddy bath. Kid Cudi actually features on one of my favourite songs on the album, Stop Trying to Be God, with James Blake and Philip Bailey. On this song, they're singing about the God complex, something that Kid Cudi admits to have struggled with, as well as Kanye West, obviously, which I feel like he may be one of the more prominent known people to have gone through this, where he was calling himself a god for an awful long time. And you know, it's something that people usually, myself included, just kind of point and laugh at, like, oh, look at these ridiculous claims he's making. But if people kept calling you a god, people kept putting you on this pedestal, how long would it take for you to believe it? It's something that I actually had never really thought of until I listened to this. So I would say this is probably the most thoughtful song on the album. I really appreciate it for that. The other thing I appreciate from this is the fantastic bridge by James Blake. James Blake is someone I was exposed to earlier this year when he went on tour in Europe with Kendrick. I actually went to the Dublin show in February. I didn't really enjoy James there, but I don't think that was all down to him and his performance, because I feel like the sound setup didn't really suit him well. But he really does fantastic on this track. I think James Blake, so, and I'm going to actually go back and listen to more of his stuff. He was great on King's Dead too, with that little bit he had. I want to listen to more of that. More James Blake, please. The song Wake Up features this little acoustic lick that I both hate and love at the same time. I think that isolated it sounds really bad. I don't like the way it sounds on its own. But then I feel like it complements the song, and I'm not saying that the song is bad. I feel like it makes the song sound better, and this is a song I actually really like. The Weeknd's contributions to this track here, and I feel like he's one of those artists who steals their song with his feature. That being said, kind of my positives for the album kind of cut out there. After this, I feel like it really starts to kind of get uninspired, and yeah. When we get to the song NC-17, I feel like the album really is starting to drag at this point. Travis and 21 Savage are basically rapping about nothing over this beat that I feel like is really paint by numbers. It's really uninspired and is everything I've heard before. I just feel like there's nothing sticky on this song, and for a lot of the songs on this album will all kind of fall into the same category. I'm kind of just picking on this one. It's not good. We get onto the song Yosemite, where I feel like this album may kind of be pulling it back. Everything is going so well. Then we get to the outro, and the outro just pisses me off because there's this guest verse on the end from Nav. I don't know who Nav is, but is there something wrong with you? Like, is it like the person who mixed this track? Is there something wrong with them? Why is this person so quiet? They can barely be heard. You gotta perk your fucking ears right up if you want to hear it. It's impossible. It steals from a track that I feel like was actually going strong, and it makes it a bad track. I don't like the track because of this feature, and these couple of seconds alone ruins the whole song. I feel like this feature kind of shows what Travis didn't know what to cut from the album after it was finished. He came in here with a load of great ideas, and a lot of them are working, but so many of them just didn't need to be here. You cut this and you lose nothing, and you have so much to gain. I am much happier with a 20-minute album that is not filler than an hour-long album that has 40 minutes of filler. We get to the song Butterfly Effect, and I genuinely, I fucking hate this song. I hate it. I think this single was released before the album came out, and if I had heard this single, there is no hope I would have listened to this full album. There's no way. I hate it. I hate it. I feel like this song is so boring. It is so uninspired. It's going nowhere. It goes nowhere. I feel physically tired talking about the song, but it is the only song I feel like actually offends me with how bad it is. There isn't much point in me talking about every song in this album, because I feel a lot of them fall under the same trap that NC-17 does, where were you necessary? Did you need to be as long as you were? Was there a point for you on the album? So most of the album is inoffensive, but boring to me. I can't say it's bad, and I can definitely recommend this album without much hesitation. But what I don't understand is the uproar around this album, why everyone finds it so fantastic. It's a good album. It is a solid trap album that I would recommend to anyone who said, hey, I kind of like trap music, should I listen to this new Travis Scott? I would say, yeah, you should. It's a good thing to space out to for an hour. I don't think it's going to win over fans who aren't fans of trap music. I don't think it's going to be, the greeting card to the genre. I think there are so many better records to do that. I kind of understand some of the hype around this album, but when there are so many great hip hop projects coming out, week after week after week, we had a way better album come out just last week with Taboo. But everyone's kind of forgetting about Taboo because everyone is on about Travis Scott. There were so many better hip hop projects that came out this year, so many more interesting ones that aren't playing it as safe, that are going in a load of different directions, and that's what I feel like Astroworld doesn't do. So I just don't understand why this is the one everyone is so caught up in. I recommend this album. I do think you should listen to it, and I think it is enjoyable for the most part. I just feel like it's overly long. Travis didn't know what to cut, and it would have been way better if it was 35, 40 minutes, not the hour that it runs. I just feel like there is much in the way of this forward thinking and stickiness to this album that I think people are going to be coming back to in a couple of years. That being said, mostly enjoyable, mostly inoffensive, mostly easy listening. 6 out of 10. So most of you guys aren't going to be happy with that review because everyone loves this album for some reason. So if you think you can change my mind, please try, because I've been trying to wrap my head around the love and the hype for this album and I just can't do it. So drop your thoughts on the album in the comments, and if you agreed with me, that's great, let me know. I'm here not to change your mind, to create a discussion and give you guys my opinions. Your opinions are welcome too. And if you liked the video, like it. If you didn't like it, dislike it. Constructive criticism is always something I'm going to want on this channel, so if you have any thoughts about anything at all, please drop them. I'm really easy to reach, guys. I'm going to drop my Twitter in the description as well, so you want me to review an album, tweet me it. I will probably end up reviewing it. I have time in my hands at the moment. I'm going to try and drop another album review this week, because I said in my last video I would try and do 2 a week. Obviously it's Thursday now and I've only got my Travis Scott review out now, so maybe Saturday or Sunday I might get to drop another review of a full project. That's it, guys. If you want to see more, stay subscribed or become subscribed. And there were some other reviews on this channel. I reviewed Denzel Curry's Taboo and Scars on Broadway's Dictator. If either of those take your fancy, go on the channel, find them. Pretty easy to do so. So, thanks for watching.